that's the point, isn't it? Behind the scenes, there's a lot of action taking place in terms of the blockchain, and companies, financials, banks are trying to figure out how to make best use of it. What are the questions, if there's a board meeting taking place and I'm trying to figure out how I transfer my ledger to the blockchain, what are the questions that I need to ask you about how it's going to work?
Well, first, Guy, thanks for having me on today. I think what we should examine is that the fact that blockchain is in the boardroom to start with, because that's very important. I think that because of the hype cycle, it's across the financial industry, well known at the board and the CEO level, which I think will actually finally drive change.
Well known, so they're completely au fait with the technology. They understand the implications.
I wouldn't say they have a deep understanding of it. I think at a high level, they understand that this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to change the way they do business, to drive substantial cost savings into their industry. In the past, these firms have built systems just for their own organizations. They haven't looked across the industry. They haven't thought about how can we do things where if there's a non-differentiating technology, we can share that cost and the expense with the industry to drive change and to drive savings. And I think that's a very important part of what's going on today.
David, how do you recommend that financial companies who are, the clients that you want to have use the blockchain? Do they buy Bitcoin? Do they create their own internal blockchain? If so, how do they have miners? I just don't understand how it would work apart from the blockchain that already exists for Bitcoin.
Okay, so we're building an enterprise version of the blockchain, an operating system for finance where firms can enter transactions and share that record so they know what they see is what their counterparties see, as opposed to the way business is done today, where each firm records their own transaction behind their firewall, duplicating data time and time again, and then relying on third-party reconciliation services and the like to validate that data. Bitcoin is a whole different story. Bitcoin and Ethereum inspired the use of these technologies for us and for so many other firms. But Bitcoin is a public ledger. We're a permissioned private ledger. We're built for enterprise and for high-value transactions. We are not using Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter and differentiating between public blockchains and cryptocurrencies. And what we're trying to do, which is build an operating system for high-value finance, is a very different story altogether.
So your platform, Corda, has no link to the price of cryptocurrencies that we talk about that are in popular culture, are so popular right now. What do you think, though, of the price of blockchain and the price of, I know Ripple is a currency in which you have an interest. It's come crashing down so hard this year. Will it recover?
So, Matt, as far as the price of blockchain, I don't really know how to answer that because, as I said, the
price of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I don't have a particular view on Bitcoin. I look at the cryptocurrencies that exist, and I define a cryptocurrency as a digital representation of a currency that has no backing. It's not backed by fiat. It's not backed by gold. It's just backed by the faith of those that own it. So I don't have a particular view on that, but there's reasons for Bitcoin and possibly even Ethereum to exist. But as you know, there's hundreds of other cryptocurrencies out there today. There's been an ICO craze. Most of these currencies, in my opinion, don't have a real purpose.